6 Quranic cheat codes about life that I wish I knew at 18. As of right now, actually, I'm 25, but I wish that I knew these cheat codes back when I was 18. And here's why. Because the very first one, it claims, stop fearing others and only fear Allah. You guys do realize I've had this YouTube channel since I was like in 2013, 11 years ago. But what's so sad is the entire time back then, I was so scared to show my face. Like I was playing video games, because by the way, like I have so many videos on my channel that are just video games. But I was playing and I was just so scared of showing my face, just because I'm like, what if people think I'm ugly? What if people are gonna comment on my hair and stuff? And I'm like, bro, really? Are you really fearing people and not Allah? It's so funny because if you go on YouTube right now and then you search up "Make Money Matt," bro, back when I was looking at this guy, he had literally like 300k subscribers, and now he's at 700k. Way more than me, literally more than double my subscribers. But I look at this guy right here, and I'm like, first of all, like he was way skinnier than what I was back in the day, and he's still making YouTube videos, and he's making crazy money, more than me right now. It's insane because this was the only reason why I didn't want to make more YouTube videos of myself showing my face, just because I'm like, people are gonna think I'm skinny, people are gonna think I'm ugly. People are gonna think I'm this and this and that. But in reality, the entire time, I was just fearing the people and I wasn't fearing Allah. And it says, and you fear the people while Allah has more right that you fear Him. How are you fearing people when Allah is the one that created the people and Allah is the one that created everything that you see around you? Even just the thought themselves of like, I'm scared of this. Allah is the one that created such thoughts. Like, I'm not saying Allah put these thoughts in your brain. I'm saying that Allah is the one that created thoughts themselves. So why are you then scared of like fearing other people? Like I remember I had to get rid of this fear. I used to be so scared of just like praying in public. Can you imagine you're scared of praying when there's people nowadays who are doing social experiments of them barking, of them just doing like humiliating things when you right now are scared of just praying in public? It's actually insane, bro, when you think about it. But you know what? This actually goes deep. It's like the only reason why you fear the people, it's because of like some evolutionary reason that a lot of us have in our brain. So back in the day, everybody was living in tribes, right? Like you weren't living alone, everybody was in a tribe. So if the tribe started not liking you, what they would do is that they would just kick you out of the tribe. And if they kick you out, then you're just gonna be out in nature, and you're probably just gonna die from like a bear or something. And so after so many years, this fear is still in the back of our brain, which is why you're so scared of people, because you're just like in your mind, you don't even think this consciously. This is just like some unconscious thing that happens. You're just like, if those people they start disapproving of me, they're just going to be kicking me out, and as a result, I'm just going to die. So the only reason why you're scared of people is because you're scared of death. So just do this little exercise right here. So step number 1, go to a grocery store, and the step number 2, find any vegetable that you want. Let's just say cucumbers. Go to the cashier. Now let's just say the cucumber cost $1, which is actually insane, bro. $1 for one cucumber. Ask the cashier to lower the price for you. So here's why. Listen, if you go to a cashier with one cucumber and then you just tell the cashier, um, can you please just like make it 50 cents? Please, bro. What's so funny is that first of all, the prices of the vegetables or any fruit in the grocery store, they usually change. They usually change. And if you go to the cashier with one cucumber and you're negotiating for one cucumber, obviously it's going to be cheaper than $1. Like most of you guys are going to be so scared of doing such a thing, but just you doing such a thing is going to recondition your brain to making you think, wait, obviously you got rejected, right? You're not going to be accepted. If you get accepted, that's pretty cool, bro. And you got to write it down in the comments. But you're going to be rejected. But the thing is that when you get rejected, your mind is going to get used to knowing that right now a human rejected me, but I'm still alive. I'm not dead. I'm still alive. And the fact that now your brain knows that even after this, I'm still alive, that means, like, dang, bro, I can do way more than just this. And then you'll stop fearing the people. You will stop fearing the people. Allah has more right for you to fear than the people. These people have no power, by the way. Every single human has no power. Like, just because someone said something bad to you does not mean that every other human is going to say something bad to you. And also does not mean that that comment has some value. It has no value, bro. So this is just some silly exercise that is so funny if you just go and do it. But once you go and do it, it's actually going to condition your brain to making you think like, these people have no value over me. Why am I basing all my life just because of these people? So anyway, this right here was actually the first lesson. Don't fear the people, fear Allah. And by the way, automatically when you start fearing Allah, you're not going to be doing the bad things. This right here does not mean that you stop fearing the people and then you're just going to be like, only God can judge me. I don't care what these people think of me. I only care about what Allah thinks of me. Because most people, when they start thinking like that, it's so funny because most people actually, bro, when they start thinking like that, they're just going to be like, I can do anything because I have a connection with Allah, like a personal connection. So I can just literally do anything because I'm good. I'm good with the God. But that's not the reality. That's not the reality. Like that it still means that you're not gonna be going and then hurting other people. You're not gonna be going and like causing disturbances. So I hope you guys understand that. But anyway, so the second thing right here is to seek mastery in everything that you do. So Allah says right here, وَلَا تَنْسَ نَصِيبَكَ مِنَ الدُّنْيَا وَأَحْسِنْ كَمَا أَحْسَنَ اللَّهُ إِلَيْكَ. Do not forget your share of the world and do good as Allah has done good to you. Now, the word good, in Arabic, it said the word ahsan, ahsan, or ahsan. Like it's a command, not just to do good, but to become excellent. Ahsan does not just mean good, it means excellence. Excellence, which means everything that you do, understand first of all that in every portion of your life, Allah has put His own mastery over it. Which means, by the way, like, do you even know that right this moment, there are some things that are happening in your gut that's keeping you alive? There are some, like, the heart right now is beating without you doing anything. There is some airplane in the sky right now that Allah is preventing from literally falling down to your house right now. It'd be so funny if this whole video ends because of an airplane coming from this window. But you do realize there's so many things that are being prevented from harming you, and so many things that are being like that are working, that are continuing, that is basically giving you life, and it's all happening because Allah is allowing it to happen, which means Allah has put his own mastery, his own excellence in your life. And just because Allah is doing that to you, that means you need to basically have mastery over everything. You basically need to like excel on everything. So you half-assing anything is not good. Your standards should be way higher than that. So seek mastery in everything you do. It means that, for example, like me, I play chess, right? I love playing chess, which means if I'm playing chess and it's been a year of me playing chess and I'm still horrible, I'm still 1400 in rating, that's horrible. That's literally horrible. That means you're not gaining mastery over that thing. So whatever thing you do, doesn't matter what that thing, you gotta gain mastery over it. Obviously, you're not gonna like go and sin and you're just gonna be like, I'm gonna become the best sinner in the world. You understand what I mean, Habibi? So for example, if you like playing soccer and you're just playing soccer, excel in playing soccer because understand like Allah is giving you so much abilities, so many abilities in like kicking the ball and saving the ball, and all those things, like just your health. Allah has basically mastered it, which means like the least you can do to give the favor back is just to become excellent at whatever you do. Now, does that mean you're gonna basically become like a professional in everything? No, but you're gonna try your best to excel in everything. And this is actually one of my values, bro. I actually written it down right here. I don't even know where it is. This one right here. So one of my values, even though the thing is inverted, is mastery. You gotta gain mastery over everything. And there's a book actually, this one right here by Robert Greene's called Mastery. I haven't even read the book. I just know that it says try to master everything that you do. You don't even need to read the book, Habibi. So in anything that you do, just like don't half-ass things. Because by the way, they say it's like the way you do one thing is the way you do everything else. So if you're always like forgetting your keys, not being aware, always being like clumsy and hitting every single door that you walk through, you're not gaining mastery over just the simplest thing, which is just walking. Walking. You don't even know how to walk. What? Because it shows like the simple things that you do are going to translate to the big things that you do. Don't even tell me, because there's a guy on Twitter, he's like, no, this quote, it basically applies to only the things that you care about. And he changed the quote. He was like, doing one thing that you care about shows how you do everything else that you care about. No, Habibi, no. If your mom told you to go and clean your room, vacuum the room, and you don't even know how to vacuum the room, how are you going to know how to run a whole business, bro? I don't even care if it's like an online business. If you can't even vacuum the room, that means you can't even run a whole business. But anyway, this right here is just seek mastery in everything that you do. The next one is stop saying I'll do it tomorrow. This is actually a very funny one because this is like it's a very common ayah that a lot of Muslims talk about, because they're like, inshallah, inshallah, inshallah. It says, and never say of anything, indeed I will do that tomorrow. But the translation says, except when adding if Allah wills. Habibi, just because you're like inshallah does not mean you can say I'll do it tomorrow. Just so you know, it literally says right here, do not say that I'll do something tomorrow, but it says only if Allah wills, which means like you have no say. First of all, tomorrow is never guaranteed for you. Second of all, you're supposed to live every single day like it's your last. Every single day, you're supposed to live it like it's your last. So, for example, if I owe someone $5,000, and he told me just pay it back Friday, and today is Monday, I'm not gonna wait till tomorrow to try and make those $5,000. I'm gonna get things moving to try my best to get this $5,000 today. Today, not tomorrow, not in on Wednesday or Thursday. Today, bro. So take that date and just bring it closer. Don't be waiting days and being like, I have days. Take the date and just bring it closer in your mind. Because you understand it's like just because the sun completed like a whole cycle and the moon does not mean okay, now it's tomorrow. Now I can basically wait. No, like tomorrow and today is going to be the same for you, especially if you keep having the same thoughts over and over again. It's basically the same thing. There's not much of a difference between tomorrow and today, and what's so funny, even yesterday too. So this is a very simple concept, bro, but just keep it in your mind. I'm not gonna go over like talk about this for a whole 10 minutes, but just keep in your mind, try to bring the dates closer, try to bring the due date, whatever, due date closer, and don't ever say I'll do it tomorrow. Like this thought of I'll do it tomorrow, erase it from your head. Because tomorrow never exists, by the way. It never exists. It's only coming because Allah allows it to come. So that's why he says, Illa an yasha Allah. Because Allah is the one that's allowing this tomorrow to come. You're not the one that's allowing it. So just do everything today. And not just today, right this moment. If you owe someone $5,000, get it done right this moment. But anyway, this next one is stop wasting energy worrying for two reasons. First of all, I'll speak about the ayah after, but the first reason is that worrying, in my opinion, is like the most arrogant thing ever. Because once again, you don't even know what's going to be happening tomorrow. You don't even know what's going to be happening in the next moment. You're predicting what's going to be happening every moment, every tomorrow. You're predicting, but you're just predicting. Most of the time, your prediction is always wrong. So stop predicting, just so you know. But the second thing, again, is like so arrogant for you to be thinking like worrying about things. Because who are you to decide what's going to happen? Who are you to even know what's going to happen? Those of you who are always having problems with anxiety, that's so arrogant of you. Who told you of the future? Like, did some fortune teller come and tell you that this is going to happen? I mean, even if they did, most of the time they're wrong. But the other thing too is that if you're always worrying about, you're just worrying all the time, like what's going to happen, what's going to happen. There's an ayah that says, "Ala inna awliya Allah, ala inna awliya Allahi la khawfun alayhim wa lahum yahzanun," which means the friends of Allah, there's no fear on them and there's no grief. Fear is coming because of the future. So worrying, you're always worried about the future. You're always scared of the future. But grief is coming because of the past. You're always sad about the past. And so it says the friends of Allah are the ones that have no fear, no worry about the future, and no grief, no sadness about the past. What does that mean? If you're having any of those things, that means that in this moment, you're not a friend of Allah. And how do you become a friend of Allah? Are you always thinking of Allah? Are you always aware that Allah is watching you right now? Are you always just like literally thinking of Allah's promises, thinking that like Allah is literally watching me right this moment? Are you always thinking of that? Because if you're not thinking of that right this moment, you're not a friend of Allah. And by the way, like again, every single moment is different. Every single moment is fresh and new. Just because like tomorrow doesn't truly exist. Like you could say tomorrow is 2 minutes from now, because it's so funny too, by the way, because it's like imagine it's 11:59 and it's like there's 5 minutes left till 12, or no, there's 1 minute left till 12 a.m. Does that mean it's like tomorrow is gonna come the next day? No, it means it's coming in 1 minute. So tomorrow truly does not actually exist. So every single moment is new and fresh, which means that if you're not a friend of Allah in this moment, that means you can fix it right in the next moment. And so if you're a friend of Allah right this moment, you got to keep it, because in the next moment it might go away. And by the way, it's going to go away if you're not being aware of Allah, that Allah is watching you right this moment. To understand, every moment is fresh. And so always ask yourself, am I aware that Allah is watching me right this moment? Are you aware? Because just a simple awareness is enough. I always say it's like if this God is so powerful and truly is God, then by definition, shouldn't this God, like, I'll feel the power just by simple awareness of this God? Because the definition of God is God can do anything, so powerful. Just a simple awareness of this God should change your moment immediately. And that's how you become a friend of Allah. You'll notice that as soon as you actually bring back your awareness to Allah, you become a friend of Allah, and then you won't even worry about the past or the future. So stop wasting energy worrying. So useless. But anyway, so the next one is one right here, this one, which basically says, وَعِبَادُ الرَّحْمَنِ الَّذِينَ يَمْشُونَ عَلَى الْأَرْضِ هَوْنًا. The slaves of Ar-Rahman are those who walk on the earth in humbleness. And by the way, when we say the word slave of Ar-Rahman, like a slave of Allah, that is something that's honorable. It's not something that's humiliating, just so you know. Because a lot of you guys are slaves to other things. You're basically a slave to the opinions of others because you're always thinking of the opinion of others. You're a slave to the business that you have because you're always thinking if this business, if it goes down, I'll lose all my income. You're a slave to your job because you're like, I can't live without my job. You're a slave to your spouse because you're like, I can't even live without this spouse. So you're always a slave to everything. So if you stop becoming a slave to everything and you become a slave to Allah, that is way more honorable than any other title that you have right now. Because being a slave of Allah or a servant of Allah, it means that you're being a servant of the creator of literally everything. Everything. How could you not want to become a servant of the one that created everything? Do you understand what I mean? Because even like the most richest of the richest people, they're always a servant and a slave to the business, to the money, to the love, to anything. You're always a slave to anything. So anyway, it says the slaves of Allah or Rahman are those who walk on earth in humbleness. Now I just want to say something, bro, because a lot of Muslims nowadays, they think that I'm supposed to be walking around like if someone threw a slipper at me, no, I gotta be humble. This is a big deal, bro. Don't get mad at me. But humility is not thinking less of yourself. Because a lot of you guys think that Allah wants you to basically humiliate yourself. And that's not true. Stop thinking like you have to go and humiliate yourself. Like if someone hurts you, you're actually allowed to go and hurt them back. You can forgive them, but you're allowed to go and hurt them back. It's like they say an eye for an eye. But stop thinking that you're allowed to be humiliated. You're not allowed to be humiliated because this is the issue. Like this, the Muslim Ummah, bro, they think if we're humiliated right now, it's okay. It's not okay. Stop thinking that it's okay. And this is supposed to be fixed at an individual level, not at a nation level, at an individual level. If right now you're accepting humiliation from other things, that's not good. So humility is not thinking less of yourself, but of yourself less. Do you understand the difference? It's not you're thinking that you're so little, because Allah Himself told you you're valuable. If Allah Himself is telling you that you're valuable, how are you coming and saying that I'm little? Allah is saying that the blood of a human is more valuable than the Kaaba itself. So how are you thinking that? Why are you coming and saying that? Oh, I'm no one. I'm nothing. Habibi, what are you saying? But the true humility is thinking of yourself less. You're not thinking of yourself all the time. Because what's arrogance? Arrogance is you're always thinking of yourself. But humility, which is the opposite, is just thinking of yourself less. Which means think of your own brothers. Think of your own sisters. Think about like, how am I supposed to benefit society? How am I supposed to benefit my family? How am I supposed to benefit my wife, my spouse? So stop thinking of humiliating yourself. And this right here, it means that the slaves of Rahman are always walking and they're always thinking about others. They're not just thinking of themselves. So you preferring to give like the food that you love to your dad is what's required of you. If my dad looked at a certain food, I don't even want to eat it just because I would love for him to have it more than me. Which is so beautiful. Like that in of itself is the humility that you should be having. Not like if someone humiliated me, I'm gonna accept it. Why would you accept it? Like the shaitan came, I'm telling you, the shaitan came and distorted all of our beliefs. And now it's coming and telling you guys, like, oh, like if someone humiliated me, it's okay, I'll accept it. It's better to accept it. Habibi, Habibi. Humility, again, is not thinking less of yourself, it's just thinking of yourself less. That's it. But anyway, so the next one right here is this is actually a big one, bro, because this once you do this, it's so insane. If you're broke right now, It's because you're not doing this. Keep your parents in mind. So it says right here, وَوَصَّيْنَا الْإِنسَانَ بِوَالِدَيْهِ حَمَلَتْهُ أُمُّهُ وَهْنًا عَلَى وَهْنٍ. There was another ayah actually that says, وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا, which means, again, it's like the word ihsan, which is excellence. So Allah, anytime He talks about you being good to your parents, Allah doesn't come and tell you what to do to be good to your parents. He just basically says, like when it says وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا, it just means parents, excellence. It's like as for the parents, excellence. Doesn't matter what type of excellence. Just as for the parents, excellence. So it says right here, وَوَصَّيْنَا الْإِنسَانَ بِوَالِدَيْهِ. Like it doesn't say we basically commanded the people with their parents to do such and such. We just said Allah just basically says we commanded the people to their parents. That's it. Which means it's like an open command. Like anything for your parents, excel. Anything for your parents, do your best. So it says right here, and it's like some of you guys are gonna be like, why? My parents are so bad for me. My parents are like hurting me and blah blah blah. Well, it says right here, حملته أمه وهنا على وهن. Their mothers bore them through hardship upon hardship. It's actually insane, bro, because I see my sister who, alhamdulillah, like she has kids and stuff, and I'm like, dang, bro, like it just reminds me of the fact, like the mom, just the mom itself, not even the dad, even though the dad does a lot, but like the mom itself, like just the fact that she was holding you in the belly for so long, like you imagine, like you know how painful that is, bro, and you know how much like that changes a woman. Like there's this thing that's called post-pregnancy depression, just because they're like, I lost my body, like I gained so much fat, I'm not the same young person that I used to be anymore, all because this mother brought you. It's actually insane. And by the way, one way to tell if someone is good to Allah is to see how good are they to the parents. Because if they're bad to the parents, automatically they're bad to Allah. Because Allah said it's like, first of all, be good to Allah and then the mother. So the mother is very close, like in terms of you being good to Allah. And it says right here, like, and shkur li waliwalidayka ilayya al-masir. It's like be grateful to me, Allah, and then your parents, because your ending is going to be coming back to me. So it's like the status of the parents, bro, it's so huge. It's so huge. And if you're by the way, if you're in a bad position right now and you're not making the amount of money that you want to be making, like look at your life. How good are you to your parents? Are you even like pampering your dad or your mom? Are you like treating them way above than they're expecting to be treated? And just the other day, actually, I was just thinking, by the way, anytime you think of your parents, you're always going to become emotional, just because it's the only way to, in this world, like tangibly, to see an example of unconditional love. Like I can't even think of a mother that does not love the son or the daughter unconditionally, because even you see it in nature. You see it in nature. The other day I was walking with my friend, and my friend, this guy is crazy. For some reason, we saw geese, and he tried to scare them. It was like little geese, and immediately the mother geese like it started hissing at him. It started like almost like about to like attack him. And I was like, that's so beautiful, bro. Just an example in nature, seeing how animals themselves, they protect their children. And that goose, goose, it had no ability to even fight my friend or even me, because we're so much bigger. We're so much bigger, right? Compared to the geese. But it's like it was still willing to give up its life just for the little children, which is insane. So like imagine a human, your own mother, how much they went through just to basically bring you. And by the way, they went through a lot, even because there's a lot of stuff that you haven't even seen yourself. Like you were such a baby that you wouldn't even comprehend that they were doing everything just for you. Like I'm pretty sure your dad was in so much struggle, so much debts, being broke, having no money, not even knowing where you're going to be sleeping, and you didn't even realize it when you were a baby. You have no clue that your dad was struggling like that, which is insane. So your parents, bro, your parents, if once you become good to them, Allah immediately is gonna start showering you with His own mercy, with His own blessings, even more, because Allah's always showering with mercy and blessings, but like even more. So Habibi, these are 6 Quranic cheat codes about life that I wish I knew at 18. Because anytime you do any of these, like if you stop fearing others and you only fear Allah, your life is going to change for the better. You seek mastery in everything that you do, your life is going to change for the better. You stop saying, I'll do it tomorrow, same thing, your life is going to change for the better. You stop wasting energy, worrying, grieving, all that stuff. Again, you'll learn what true humility is, because you're a dignified human being in the eyes of Allah, by the way. In the eyes of Allah, your life is going to start changing for the better. You excel for your parents, your life is going to change for the better. So these are some beautiful teachings about the Quran, from the Quran, about life. There's obviously more, but these are just some of the stuff that I came up with right now. Like I just found it. But I hope this was helpful, bro. If this was helpful, just let me know.